Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, before we get into the technical analysis, I just wanted to just show you guys this tweet here. So Jim Cramer says, "When I am on a special, it's about opportunity, dispassionate opportunity. I want to do one because I see too much despair. Those who want to bet against me, do your selling now, please. Like all the funny people in my mentions column who bought GME at $400 and AMC at $50. That was a terrible reading, by the way. I just drank some coffee. I just want to point out here that on September 9th, we can search this tweet. Let's search this tweet so you guys know exactly that I'm not lying, okay? I mean, you can see that it's tagged here. Let me get this exact tweet, okay? There's Kid. You guys know Kid, right? You guys know Kid. Oh no, I'm not gonna be whatever. You can't search as well. Anyway, look, it's the real tweet, okay? I pasted it here. Let's look at the price that he said to buy AMC at. Let's look at the price. Now listen, this isn't him doing like analysis and then saying, hey, based on this you should buy, or based on this I am bullish, right? This is him specific. He says the words buy AMC, right? I've never said that. I've never instructed anyone to buy anything, okay? This guy says buy it at $46.80. So, like, it's just, what is he talking about? That's close enough to $50, right? Anyway, I just thought that I'd bring that up. I'm trying really hard not to make my entire YouTube channel and Twitter about Jim Cramer, but it's so good. You know, he's just he's a content machine. He's so good at what he does. Anyway, dude, today in the market was insane. It was blood from open on SPY. I know you guys were watching. And yesterday we were talking about puts. I mean, SPY just opens and is just pre-market is just dumping and just crashed. I mean, you got all the way down to 420.71, which is just 2 cents shy of 420.69. So you can't have those memes. And then you just absolutely reverse, and basically you just end up right where you close, a little bit above where you closed at last week. So I'd say that's a pretty good sign overall for SPY. You look at the daily candle. Looks pretty reversally here. You got a good amount of volume on this push. That's the most volume that you've seen on a daily candle on SPY in some time. And these are just really good candles here. And so, I was generally, my sentiment was, and you guys on Astro's channel, I was basically saying, you know, like, retail's getting too put happy, and it's a little unrealistic to expect that, like, market makers and stuff are just gonna let retail just continue to buy puts and just make a ton of money, right? And so I mean, full transparency, I was talking to you guys about Goldman and Amazon. Goldman because Cramer tweeted saying that Goldman is a steal at these prices. That makes me want to buy puts. And Amazon just because it looks like this nasty distribution. And whenever SPY, now I mean down here, I sold SPY puts that I had at around 423, 424 probably, or maybe like 425. And I tweeted out and said that if SPY crosses over 430, I'm gonna get out of my long-term puts that I had, because these were short-term puts on SPY. So I had like a bunch of profit on the table, so I just took it. But then I was like, I'm gonna get out of my Goldman and Amazon puts just because I was deeply in profit on those as well. Those are longer dated, and I'm gonna look for a better entry just because you have this downtrend on SPY, and we're gonna get to AMC. I just want to talk about SPY because SPY is really important to AMC right now. Okay, you had this downtrend that we were drawing on SPY. It was about here. No, it would have been here. We were drawing it probably. Yeah, it would have been here. You came here, tested it a bunch of times, and failed it. And then when you came up, you tested it, wanted to revert back and then bounced above. You broke under before you broke out. And that's why it was basically just a correlation with this. So this is where I actually sold my my Amazon and Goldman Sachs puts when it broke that 430. So it had been like 431, 432 probably. Got faked out, thought that I was wrong, and then boom, you just get this blast off. I even said this looks distributionary just because you see the red volume candles. Every time that you get those green volume candles, you see those red volume candles follow up, and they're a little bit bigger. So it almost looks like, they're trying to get cheap pumps so that they can sell off their stock a little bit higher, and then, right? But SPY closes at 439. I mean, that's a really impressive push at the end of the day. And the video Astro, I was talking about, how retail is just too put happy, whatever. I already said that. Anyway, let's get into AMC. So AMC down 7.4% on the day. And if you guys have been following the channel, we've been watching a few things here, right? We've been watching that falling wedge, but we've also been watching this Fibonacci level. If you measure from the bottom of the buy button collapse to the top of the June run, we had this $14.33. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I was saying 14.50. That was like my words. But now I'm sitting at my computer and wow. I mean, I was like 9 cents off on this move here. So yeah, I mean, that goes to show you, macro Fibonacci's are good. Usually you're gonna find some support on especially the 618 on a macro fib like this. And this is also a very key level, guys. Like, I mean, just look at this. Just look at it. This golden pocket range, right, and just below it, if you draw, boom, boom, as horizontal support, this level, this $12 to $14.50 level, was essentially, right, you get rejected by $14.50, rejected by $14.50 here. You found support ultimately at this $12 before you blasted off to $70. What I'm saying is, this is very key support, okay? Like, and I've been saying this for weeks now. This is very key support that AMC has to maintain, or things can get, I know they've been pretty bloody, but they can get very bloody, okay? If you break this and you hold below, so not just break, okay? Because like today you broke your 14.50 or whatever, but you didn't hold below it. If you break here and then you close on the daily below 14.50, right? Like this, the implication is you have to come down and test this $12 level now. That's just how it works. And if you break this $12 level and then you come back up and retest, and you don't get a volume push up and through this channel, and you get rejected down and you make a lower low, okay? This is when you start to say, okay, well, on this Fibonacci, you have 927 as pretty much your next level once you get to that point. And then you have the 885 at $7.14. You can also pull from here the all-time low for the January run, and you can see the golden pocket on this move would be the 618, okay? So just full transparency, if what we are looking at here, right, as support does not hold, you have a lot more room to go down, okay? But I am confident that this is going to be a very key level that at least you're going to trade for a while. And you guys remember me. I mean, I've been talking about this 14.50 thing for like literally months. So you guys know that this is kind of like my, my moment of truth. I'm just kidding. But, it's something that I've been watching for, and now it's kind of coming to fruition. So how are we reacting to this, right? So we've been watching this falling wedge. And this is, the ultimate. Tyler Wilson, option drops on Twitter. Tyler Wilson investing on YouTube. I drew this wedge. He goes, yes, move the wedge, because he's kind of following the wedge now too. So he's kind of memeing me a little bit, but as I've talked about on the channel before, you can kind of the wedge. It's kind of an inception sort of move, right? When you have these wedges, it kind of develops wedges within the wedge, right? So you can say that this is a wedge as well, and the reason that that happens is because price is kind of curling into it's curling into this sort of reversally move, and so you're going to start to see a lot more falling wedges, just as you would if it was a rising wedge on the other side. And a lot of patterns do that. If you watch ascending triangles or descending triangles, they'll start to form smaller ascending triangles and smaller descending triangles within themselves, okay? Am I saying that this is a guaranteed pattern to work? I think you guys, if you watch the channel at all, you should know me better than that. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, and all that stuff. We're towards the beginning of the video, and I just thought about it. Usually I wait until the end, which is the worst possible time to say that, I guess, for the algorithm. But yes, anybody who's saying that this is a bearish channel does have a valid argument. Okay, I mean, it's a bull flag, some people would say. Also, this thing hates flags, but this is certainly a bullish channel, right? I mean, a bearish channel. Sorry, you are rejecting at the top, finding support at the bottom. Okay, but within these channels is when patterns can arise, and then you create these sort of reversal opportunities. So here is how I would draw it personally. You could also say that it's a falling and expanding wedge in this way, right? If you drew it like this. So let's just color this blue just so you see what I'm saying. You don't see what I'm saying? Baby bun and DD. So yeah, but what I'll say is this is the ultimate version of this. If this ends up being a falling wedge, this is essentially this is how it's going to be drawn on a logarithmic scale, okay? The reason I'm saying that is now you have here this candle, right, opened. Well, basically the body of this candle is sitting right here. You have the two wicks here from your retracement in July and August. And now you came here, you briefly broke below and held it as support, okay? So this is the Mac Daddy, okay? This is the moment of truth. Now, what you have going for you is SPY has this pop up, right? So if SPY sees continuation, and this is why I got out of my options on SPY, Goldman, and Amazon, is because with all of the downside, I was also thinking, you know, Powell speaks Wednesday. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, everybody's expecting the worst things in the world to happen. Everybody's expecting the world to end. And then you have this Fed meeting that's kind of just aligning, you know. You know me. I like to watch Composite Man and try and see him from both ways. And I'm just thinking, man, he might just spark a rally, you know? It just seems too easy. It's too easy to the bearish side right now, right? That's why I got out of the options. And I tweeted that. Yeah, I tweeted that like Friday or Saturday probably. I was like, okay, SPY's gonna open red so I can close my puts, and then it's gonna be green going into Wednesday. But yeah, so look, if SPY continues its bounce, AMC, you know, you got room here to the $22 in this wedge based on this downward price action that you have here. Now, what happens there? If SPY really goes crazy, right? If it really goes banana sandwich, and you get a breakout here, remember we have this overarching sort of bear trend. I mean, you can draw it. Let's draw it like this as a true bear trend. And you would be looking at probably like $26.65. Let me make the numbers bigger. Sorry, guys. Damn it, dude. I wish that they were bigger at the beginning of the video. It always changes the size, bro. Sorry. So anyway, if you break out here, let's make this red so you know what I'm saying. So you know what I'm saying? Everybody in the D League. So then this is the falling wedge. If you break out here, you're gonna have your next test at like $26. I would assume that you break down from there, if you do get your breakout, retest 20 to retest the top of the wedge, and then you're going to be looking for that break above. If you break above 27, 27.50, you're going to be looking for that retest down to 25. If you can confirm there, create a higher high, then, and I mean, at that point, if you have volume, you get that support at that range, low 40s, mid 30s can happen relatively quick. Just because you've already built up so much trading in this range, and you can look at the amount of trading that's happened in the range by pulling up volume profile, visible range. And yeah, now, now the chart, it kind of looks like it wants to come back to this level at least, because this has the lowest amount of liquidity. Let's zoom out a little bit more and see. Yeah, this is pretty good stuff here, but you really got to hold that 1450. You do. You don't, I know a lot of people say, oh, it's just a buy and hold. It doesn't matter. I'll hold it to whatever. That works for some people, but a lot of people, they want to understand the price action behind what's going on with their investment. So I understand your position and what you're trying to say. Don't think that I'm like discounting it or anything, but some people want to understand the price action on a day to day. So, ooh, this looks kind of good. Hold on, this is interesting. But look, what if you drew it like this, right? You had the resistance from the top here, broke, bounced off of it here, bounced off of it here, bounced off of it here, and now you broke down into it and bounced, and you're holding on top of it. This is an interesting way to look at this as like a support trend, sort of. Okay, yeah. Is the bottom in? It's hard to say with 100% certainty, right? Like the markets are, there's a lot of turmoil in the broader market. I want to answer a couple questions too that I get a lot, or like people mention a lot to me, not necessarily questions for me or whatever, but people say there's, if there's a market crash, it'll cause margin calls, and then you'll see moon on AMC, GME. Just understand that if that is like your, what you think is going to happen, just understand, and I'm not saying that it's not necessarily what's going to happen. Just understand that there will be a lot of blood before you see that, right? So like AMC is dumping with the broader market. The broader market dumps like that and causes those margin calls. AMC is going to absolutely have to, like, it's going to sell off very, very, very quickly, okay? If there's a broader market, like, crash. Before you see that kind of margin call, automatic covering sort of phenomena happen, okay? It's not going to just be like, the market crashes and then AMC is just inversely related to it. And then also, I just want to answer the negative beta thing. Negative beta can only help you so much. It's not like an inverse correlation with the market. What it means is you are detached from the market by some, it's like a deviation from the market, right? Like a percent deviation. It doesn't mean that you have a direct inverse relationship with the market, right? So that's just kind of how I see those things. I could be totally wrong, but I think that it's pretty easy to see that when the market is dumping, AMC is dumping right along with it. Does that mean that will always happen or whatever? Of course not. But as of right now, that is what we are seeing, right? Let me see. I can adjust this and see if there's another way to look at this line. You can say here that maybe you're having a fake out moment here on a broader scale, but I think that the wedge is best drawn. Here. Okay, so now this is where we stand. This is what we're going to be watching. We want to continue to hold this trend to support, and you can see that, right? Like if this was to continue to happen, right? And you went into March like this, say early March, you would still be at that key $12 support level. Okay, I'm not saying that that is what's going to happen. You could very well break out in any moment, but you would be right back at this $12 support level that we talked about before. So that's generally healthy. You're going to have to watch the price when it gets up here. Make sure you don't get any like rising wedge sort of thing happening, right? Because that could very well happen. AMC loves those. And then if that does happen and the volume's slowing down towards the top of this thing, then I'm going to be calling. I'm going to be like, yep, hey, I'm just letting you know this thing's going to $12. So don't get your panties in a bunch if that happens, okay? I'm warning you now. But yeah, so that's pretty much the video. That's the technical update. That's all the things that I'm watching. And do it yourself, guys. Like, go create these fibs. Oh my goodness, my computer's about to crash. Create these fibs. Okay. And then, name them. Pull up your object tree and you can change it to like, buy button retracement, for example. And then you can just kind of toggle them on and off and look at them. It's completely free to use, TradingView. So I don't see why you wouldn't. If you're interested in technical analysis, it's definitely something that you would want to use. Just to keep track of the price action, have a different way to look at it. This is definitely a bearish channel. By the way, you're testing the bottom of it though, so I think that I'm kind of optimistic. That, it's weird. This technical kind of makes me feel like SPY is gonna go up. Like I'm not even analyzing SPY. I'm kind of just looking at. I'm like, okay, yeah. Well, AMC looks like it wants to go up, so yeah, the broader market should probably go up. That's kind of silly, but it's how I'm feeling. If you pull a fib from here on SPY, you bounced perfectly off of this 885 420.75. Holy shit, that's actually really perfect. That's crazy. But yeah, so that's the video. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, peace.